Well, actually, in 2005, I had experienced a lot of loss. And my granddaughter of 2 months passed away. And the following month, my brother passed away. And I thought I was just depressed. And so I went to the doctor thinking he'd give me a pill and I'd go on. And instead, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Uh, it was quite a shock, but I started in 2005 on medication. I did insulin. I did just about everything, diet, exercise, but nothing would control it. In 2013, I went so far as to have a gastric bypass surgery uh, because the doctor said that was the way they treated it in Europe. And so I said, okay, let's do that. And they took out 75% of my stomach. So that worked for a few years of maintaining. But then it went right back to the old way, and so I went back on medication. Uh, we started doing the patches in June of 2023. We started the patches not for my issue, but for pain relief for my husband and me in my knee because I had arthritis. I guess I can say that. But that's not what happened. the stem cells needed to go to my pancreas, and so I started having my blood sugar. The doctor had put me on. I was taking 2 pills a day, and it started dropping. Actually, too much. So we dropped my medication to 1 pill a day. Then we had to drop it to half of that. Then we kept dropping it to the point that the doctor said, "Well, just stop it because your blood sugar is dropping too low." So I stopped the pills, and my blood sugar has maintained between 86 and 108. You know, if I'm really crazy, it might get up to 130. But I never thought I would ever be able to get off the medication. I just thought that was a way of life. And I had had family members who had passed away from the side effects of this situation. So I have been over the moon. But that again, I had other issues too that I didn't even realize were being affected until I started writing notes. And I thought, I have not had an issue with what was diagnosed as diverticulitis in 1976, where I would have like 4 bouts at least a year, which would only be relieved by very strong medication, antibiotics, and bed rest. And I just realized that I haven't had an attack since we started using the patches. So my husband and I both, when we started, were only using the X39 and Eon. And the other thing that was really an issue was my sleep. I would take at bedtime, I would take 16 to 1800 milligrams of ibuprofen or acetaminophen and 3 10 milligrams of melatonin. And so I ran out of melatonin. And I thought, oh, well, I'm just going to see, because my pain had stopped in my leg, in my knee. And so I just stopped using the melatonin that I had, and I was sleeping sound. Before, I would have to get up 2 or 3 times in the night, and then I would have trouble going back to sleep. But since I've been using the patches, I may get up in the night a time, just one time, but I go right back to sleep. I don't have any issues sleeping, and I sleep soundly. So does my husband. He's sleeping soundly now. And we both have seen little changes in other areas. One thing with my husband, we're working on the pain in his hips, and that's coming. And I believe it's going to take longer, but that's good. We're making progress. But he told me I feel good. He said, I feel good. And that is really a neat thing to say, because sometimes he could be a little grouchy, but he's not grouchy anymore. And I love it. In November, I had, from June to November, my blood sugar dropped from 7.9 to 7. My A1C dropped from 7.9 to 7. And so I'm expecting that to continue to go down. But that to me has just been amazing because that hasn't happened before. And I've got my doctor's backing. He says, go for it. So I'm going for it. But he's always been very open to anything I argue with him, and he lets me win sometimes. But both of us are just expecting. We've decided that we would make the commitment that it's not a quick fix. It's not something that's going to happen overnight because everybody's used to a microwave world. But we would give it the months that we needed to, 1 month for each 10 years. But I don't think we'll ever stop using patches now because we don't ever want to reverse what's already been done. I have to, and I don't want to get emotional. I'm so thankful for what David has done. We use a lot of patches now, or I do, but the first 5 months, all we used was the Eon and X39. But I'm so grateful for all the patches. And I'm thankful for David that he hears from God and he listens to those divine downloads. And so that's about it.
Well, I know that you were saying that your blood sugar was dropping really low when you were still taking the pills. Did it ever get too low after you stopped the pills, the medication? Did it ever go too low, or has it continued, very stable?
It's very stable. It's very stable. It hovers around 100, and to me and the doctor says that's great. So we're happy with that.
I do. I mean, amazing that your A1 numbers have decreased. That's amazing. The symptoms, the pain, the discomfort in your colon and your large intestine, that's basically subsided. And I presume you can now eat more things again.
Yeah, I don't have any issues. We were never really able to determine what it was that triggered my attacks. But it would just be, I think a lot of it was related to stress, that the stress issue would cause me to have the attacks. But I'm a happy camper. I'm not awesome. Stressed anymore.
Yeah, stress is a bugger, man. And also you mentioned that both you and your husband have pain in your knees, been labeled, you've been with some arthritis going down. Now, with you, has some of that pain or mobility improved?
Oh, yes. Mine's all gone. I used to have to sleep with a pillow under my knees, and now I do it because it feels good. I mean, it's comfortable, but I couldn't put my heel on the mattress at night. I had to elevate the heel of my foot because it would hurt. And I used one LifeWave ice wave on my knee one time, and it took the pain away just almost immediately. And I haven't used one since then. And the pain, like I said before the patches, I would take ibuprofen or acetaminophen every night. And I thought a large dose, the maximum I could take, that without hurting my body. But I don't take any of that. I don't take any pain, like a Tylenol or anything anymore. So I'm excited.